Yeah, what's good, beautiful people? It's your homie DJ Be Easy giving you another episode of the Mix Up Podcast. And we got two special guests in the studio right now. We got Psychedelic and J Money. How you guys feeling today?
Yo, I'm fucking feeling great.
True. How was the commute coming up, right?
Rainy. It was, traffic in Hartford is always awful.
But, yeah, especially with the school buses.
You get seen so many of those on the way up.
Yeah, that's a trap.
But it is what it is. We made it up here.
Yeah.
Doing our thing.
The traffic was whack though. Everybody was cutting everybody off. It was not so.
Well, just cussing at people, or
just
cutting everybody off. Got you.
Crazy.
Yeah,
well,
and it's raining too.
Yeah, that's Hartford though.
Dude, I'm happy. I'm happy you guys made it here and whatnot. So, what you guys been up to, especially with everything going on in 2020, music-wise? What's new with you guys now?
So it's actually funny because a couple months back, my girl introduced me to Josh.
Okay.
And we started doing music. He fucked with some of the shit that I sent out.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, check this out. He's like, yo, I really like this. Can we get in this? Like, I get in the studio? I was like, yeah. So we wrote a song, or he found a beat on YouTube, and we dropped his first single called Say Less.
Okay.
And that blew up. It's got like 500. Yeah, it's at like 508 right now on SoundCloud. So, that went up really fast, and I was like, dude, I like your music, I like the way you flow, like, let's do something.
Let's collab, yeah.
So we started writing a bunch of different stuff. We dropped literally six or seven. Yeah, tracks. Probably 6 tracks at this point since me and him met up a couple months ago.
So in a sense, you guys could literally do your own EP album whenever you feel like doing it.
Well, that's the whole thing about today. We're excited to announce the release.
So hold on, this is like breaking news right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've told a couple people that we got something coming up, but this is our big debut of it.
Our big moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's called
Limitless
Potential.
Yes.
Okay.
Limitless Potential. Check it out. It's coming out soon.
It's a 5-track EP. We've been working hard on it. It's
nice.
Exciting, and I know it's some of the best work that I put out, and
I've had a lot of fun doing it too. It's been a really great journey, really getting to know Dylan too as an artist. Psychedelic, man, he's got bars too. He's got a hidden potential I don't think he even knows about,
Okay.
But I just had a great time doing it.
So real quick, how long have you been performing and doing, and also doing in-studio work? And same thing with you, J Money.
All right.
I've
go ahead, you first.
I've been writing since I was 10 years old. I started performing around once I started meeting Kamal.
Shout out to Camouflage.
Baby. Come on, Black Panther, friggin' just had a great time, he came and performed with me at a couple of shows too, I came through for the CPR Young and Relentless show, and he came through and we performed an awesome show, and it was great. I had a great time, I met you there, met up with Young D,
a lot of artists that was there, and that's one thing that I'm a little bit sad about with 2020, because every year for the past, I want to say 5 years now, we did at least, we do shows quarterly at the Parquet Theater in Manchester. So big shout out to them, because they're going through their own transition. So they still, providing music and service, but now it's a lot of it is you got to have 10 people buy out or rent out the theater, or when it was warm, or it was still warm because it's warm in November right now, 70 degrees. They still have projectors outside, doing stuff too. So shout out to them for allowing us to do the hip hop that we love doing,
Oh yeah, big ups to them, big ups.
And it wouldn't be for them if we wouldn't have music if it wasn't for big places or small venues giving us the opportunity to perform. But speaking of which, I've been writing, I've been doing music my whole life. I started out in choir,
Hold on, you started off singing choir?
Yeah, singing choir in my church, and then I moved to NFA. I was in chamber choir there for a few years. So music's always been my passion, I played guitar for years, I still play, but it wasn't until a few years ago when I moved down to North Carolina.
So you got away from Connecticut for a little bit, okay.
Yeah, and you could ask anybody. I was all about the metal, all about the hardcore. I love that stuff still.
Yeah.
You know, but when I got away from Connecticut and I stepped away from everything, and I was staying down there with my cousin, my cousin Jesse. He showed me like what it is, what hip hop really is. I was already kind of doing music and kind of making beats and stuff like that. But he really, introduced me to a whole nother world of it. And he kind of untapped tapped into my potential of freestyling.
Okay. So my next question, because this is fascinating to me. Like you in Connecticut and you just into the whole metal, hardcore scene, all of that.
Yeah.
But then you go to North Carolina and you fall in love with hip hop.
Yep.
So like, what was blocking you from your hip hop path, living in Connecticut and then going to North Carolina? Like,
I don't know. I really think it was just just the change of everything.
Okay.
Allowed me to be able to open my eyes that much farther.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I've always loved all music. I wouldn't have sang in choir if I didn't. Like, if I hated it, I wouldn't have done it.
Exactly.
Like, so a part of me has always enjoyed hip hop, but I never was able to perform it myself. I always wanted to freestyle. I was like, dude, I want to freestyle. Those guys sound so sick, blah, 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 blah. And because I'd always write.
Yes.
I'd write it and I'd perform it, And then like I said, I got away, was able to actually do that. I learned, I taught myself. And from there, I came back up here, I started doing more music, and, a couple of years, 2 years ago, I released Medicine, my first real single. And
what was the story behind the track Medicine?
So at the time, I was using a lot of psychedelics and
that's the name.
Molly,
Yeah.
party drugs and stuff like that, So the original track was it was called Medicine on YouTube. I found it. It was another beat, but like this screenshot for it was a bunch of like Molly pills. And at the time,
son.
I was just like, it resonated with me. The beat went hard. I was like, dude, I'm gonna write something to this. This is sick. So I dropped that a couple years ago, and that's doing well. And like I said, ever since then, been writing hip hop and rap and stuff like that. It's great.
Dude, I don't believe this is your first interview because you so chill about life.
No, that's because I'm the go with the flow type character.
Gotcha.
Like that's just who I am. I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just a chill dude.
Word. What are you guys' thoughts on the current state of performance where, as like hip hop artists, we're so used to being on a stage or performing in front of a certain number of crowds or whatnot, and now it's like our number got cut down to like, I don't know, 15, 25 people, and now it's like everything is online. You got to do Zoom parties, you got to do like Twitch parties. Like, what's your thoughts on this weird phase that we're in right now?
I think it's total bull.
Yes.
Out there real quick.
I agree with them on
Gotcha.
that. But I mean, even in this changing times, I feel like we're just got to do what we got to do as artists. Continue releasing music, and promoting it is another big thing.
Promotion is big.
Like just like putting yourself out there, like whether it be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever the case may be, just trying to like get people to hear your music, and that's the biggest thing right now, because like as somebody who doesn't have much recognition, you gotta build yourself up, and right now I feel like I was saying it to him a couple weeks ago. I feel like right now is the perfect opportunity to do stuff like that as an artist. You don't have to focus so much on the performance aspect of things. You can focus on your craft right now. And
really capitalize on it.
Exactly. And build yourself up. Build your skill set. Sorry.
And something else that I'm thinking about right now too is like, while you're building up that skill set, still like, in a sense, turn off the music, look in the mirror, and just work on a performance.
Yeah.
Like really like set yourself up, like pretend that, and this is something that they taught me in theater and acting class and whatnot. you know, sometimes before the performance, you just got to look in the mirror and you just got to, you know, pretend that there's like 1,000 people in that auditorium and whatnot, and just go in, like have your imagination go crazy, like zone out a little bit. So I think that will also help too, because I feel like this whole thing that we're going through is not going to last forever. So this is the perfect time to just sharpen up that sword and, like you said, work on the skill set, but also perfect time for like just practicing that stage performance and whatnot.
Yeah, like who you want to be, you know, like you know, what's the appearance you want to have, you know.
Yeah, man.
So it's like all these like video like cameras, like zoom, like all that shit, like all that's really good, you know, because then everybody gets to see you and you notice that they're like, oh, all right, so they're actually watching, I'm gonna do my little thing, you know, and you get comfortability, you know, with that.
Yeah.
So that's cool, you know, but like once you're out there, it's totally different, you know, like I feel like it's the real thing, you know, the real moment, and you just get lost in it. You get lost in it. You grab that mic, you start spinning, and that's it. That's a wrap, you know.
You just got me thinking about 8 Mile for a second. Lose yourself in the music.
Yeah, yo, I loved 8 Mile, man. Eminem, yo, shout out, yo, Eminem. Yo, he's the real guy, yo. I started listening to Eminem when I was younger, and I was like, wow, like. Open my eyes to rap. I was like,
the lyrics, the lyricism, the you know, the type of like cadence poetry that he uses in his music is like is a blueprint too.
Yeah, it's
you know,
hate it or love it. This is what it is. You know, I love it.
I love some of the new music that's coming out because lyrics are coming. Because I feel like it was a time period that for at least like 3 or 4 years, every artist sounded like fucking Migos. Excuse my language. Migos, yes. Yeah. So I feel like now, especially during this so-called quarantine period, I'm noticing people are actually starting to rap again and whatnot. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You noticing the same thing too?
Like, really get into like the craft of it, the lyrics, you know, like how to become clever with it, you know, piece by piece, you know, like, and just really taking the time to, because you got all the time in the world now. COVID-19 really got you stuck, you know, like. So what else you gonna do if you're an artist? You love writing music. This is a perfect time to do it. You know, like. Can't be a better time to just get better and just like really put in all that energy, because now you got the time to do it.
I feel like, you know, lyrical hip hop has always been there. You know, it's just you really kind of have to search for it. You know,
it's always like,
you know, like
with your
SoundCloud. Unfortunately, like the way I see it, you know, mainstream only plays one of two things: mumble rap or pop. And I mean, those aren't bad music if you enjoy those things. Yes. But, you know, at the same time, you're not, you know, they're cutting off like hundreds of genres, you know, of other music. You know, like you got horrorcore, you got straight classic hip hop, you got trap, you got, you know, underground, you got all these different genres of artists that aren't being promoted by mainstream radio.
And this is why, like, the streaming, like, when it comes down to, because radio is important, but also the different, you know, platforms, not even Spotify, not even just Tidal, but like Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Because
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation is still popping?
Yeah.
Okay. Word. So it's like,
still around.
It's still out there. You got to search for it. But like, I feel like you guys as the artists have more power now. Because the thing is now, and it's been like this for the past couple years. You don't even need the label. You don't even the radio will help, you know, with your ASCAP and your BMI and whatnot. But as far as getting the ball rolling, you can just start it on YouTube. You know,
YouTube, SoundCloud. You know, those things are, you know, at hand for artists. You know, like, I mean, who was it? Trippie Redd and XXXTentacion both came up on SoundCloud. You know, like they were nobodies until they were found. You know, same with Suicide Boys. You know, they what did they do? They dropped EP after EP after EP for like 2 years straight, and then they were like, oh, we're famous now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like,
because you know what they built that cult following.
Exactly.
So even without like the big monster we call the radio or the mainstream media, you still could create a following of like, you know, whatever amount of people follow you. In a sense, it could be thousands, it could be like, you know, millions, and you know, because there's some artists like I'm taking it back to the old school Tech Nine. He used to sell out mad shows, and he never had any music on the radio until like the later like 2000s and the teens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a way to make it happen.
Tech's been one of my biggest inspirations for, you know, like my rap. Like it's just like, you know, he's so fast, he's so technical, you know, the words, he's just like putting them together like, dude, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like that dude is definitely one of my biggest inspirations, I swear to God. Like, big shot to Strange, I swear. Like,
Word. Yo, dude, any shout outs before we get to the hashtags? And also, before we finish like this portion of the interview, I was thinking about asking you guys to do, you know, a freestyle session, you know, on a whole different platform and whatnot.
Okay.
Oh, we out here.
Word.
Alright.
We out here.
Shit, I'm about it.
But yeah, like your shout outs and your social media and all that.
Oh man, follow me on SoundCloud, yo. You can add me on J Money. Follow it real quick. Press that button. You already know. You can add me on Facebook, Joshua Galarza, and then we'll just figure out what's next with where you can link up with my music. Cause we're gonna be doing some new things soon. You know, like it's gonna be popping.
Yeah.
You have to stay with it.
Word.
Yeah, so you can follow me at PSYKO SoundCloud. And it's spelled a little weird. I'm gonna, you know, PSYKO 2 slashes DELIC. Simple, you know, a little confusing.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook as well. Same thing. You can find me on YouTube. I only got a couple songs. I do have a song that you can't find up on SoundCloud on YouTube. So if you want to go digging, you can find it there.
Bad.
And then big shout out to my production label that me
Bad
and
Trip.
Josh are trying to build. Bad Trip Productions.
Yo,
You know,
shout out to
coming up.
CPR too for hooking this up. You already know Young D, yo, Earl, yo, thank you.
No doubt, yeah.
Appreciate the
Yo,
love.
seriously. Thank you.
So yeah, we'll be back next week with some more of the podcast and whatnot. Make sure you follow these gentlemen on the Instagram, Facebook, all the SoundCloud, everything.
Instagram, J Money all day.
Yeah.
Point
Psychedelic.
Word. So we'll be back next week, y'all. But off air, we're gonna do this freestyle session.